Tarot and therapy. How can we use a tarot reading for healing purposes? In which way tarot has the power of healing? Even though I don't like to use the term healing, I prefer integration. In my experience, and I can tell you after many years of reading cards to people, to all sorts of people everywhere, I noticed that there's something that happens when a person approaches us for a reading. Is a mix of fear and curiosity. And when that combination happens, if this mix of feelings or thoughts, and the person tends to be open to whatever is going to be there. So just the fact that someone is coming to us for a reading, not knowing what is going to happen, and you may have anticipations and fears, hopes. You may want me to tell you something that you want to hear, so you are hoping that please make that happen. So also you are in a state of mind and in a state of heart and soul that is so rich and is so perfect, so ideal for, getting into a realm that is unknown to you. And then when we pick the cards, or you picked your cards, and then I'm going to give you an example. And then you may get this card, right? If you look at all the details, because usually I tell all my clients to look at the card, feel the card. What is the card telling them? What is the card showing? All the details, the movement of the curtain around her head. What is she wearing? What colors are in the card? What is the gesture with the hands? And everything. Most people, they read cards and they look for the meaning, but they don't look at the card directly. But each one of these is an archetype. An archetype is a representation of some condition, some moment or situation in our life as humans that happens to all of us. And the way we understand that is not with our mind or our intellect only, is with our heart, with our feelings, and with our imagination. And actually, because it's symbolic, it goes directly to the subconscious mind. For example, I have this experience many times happening when I read the cards. Someone may come to me and I will say, think about what do you want to know? Do you have a question? You don't have to tell me, but think about it. Or do you have an intention for this reading? And the person may feel like, okay, I get it. I know what I want to know. And then when we, when she picked the cards and look at the card and I show the card to this person, and I may maybe say a word or maybe ask a question. Sometimes, questions come. I'm not a psychic, but sometimes, I can ask something and the person will go like, oh, wow, how do you know that? No, I don't know anything. It's you make a connection, your subconscious mind has been touched in certain way that made a connection that actually is showing you what is the real matter, what is that you really want to know, or what is the doubt that you have, in your heart, in your mind, in your whole being. So this is the magic of tarot. It's not something that is like a mystery, but is so revealing, because actually the cards are like mirrors. They help us to see ourselves in a new way, in a way that we haven't been seeing ourselves before, because it's like seeing ourselves from the inside out. in a very symbolic way. I'm going to show you another card. And you're going to tell me what this card represents to you, so I can help you. We see this card is showing a woman with a hat, right, over there. But the shape of the heart is very similar to the symbol of infinity. And it's a hat on her head, so it means maybe this is a mind that is very powerful, and it's very intellectual, and it's very active, right? But then we see that this woman has her hands, look, very close or touching the teeth of an animal. And that animal that looks like a lion, that has different colors in the hair, it's like coming from her or coming very close to her. And she is having her hands almost touching the tooth. There are many more details, but what this card really means, and the name is, the card is about strength, la force in French, strength. So it means, like, if I tell you the meaning, but before I tell you the meaning, think about for a moment, what does it mean? A very active mind, but the hands is what, we do things with our hands, are touching the tooth of something like a lion. So a lion is a wild animal that is not a tame one, it's wild. And when we touch the teeth of an animal, we are taking a risk of being hurt, right? So this person here is having the courage to do that. And because this is about strength, means that our strength comes from the combination of our mind, intellectual ability to think things through, but at the same time to get in touch with our inner, with our instinct. The animal is the instinct, and when we're touching the animal with our fingers, with our hands so closely, is we need to get to know ourselves from the animal point of view, in our instinct. So our power, our strength comes from being aware about our intellectual capacity, but in touch with our instinct for survival. So that is what made us very powerful and strong. So, see, even if I didn't say anything, you may find very curious, why is this woman doing that? And then you will go little by little, paying attention to the details, right? So this is what tarot does. I use tarot many times with my clients to help them see deeper, because they are not, sometimes we are so focused on our situation that we cannot see through. But when you pick a card and the card is showing you something, it helps you to find a new perspective, or to have like a new vision, to consider the situation from a different point of view. And I don't need to tell you anything, because you are going to make the connection. And there's nothing more powerful than when we get into a conclusion, when we find an answer that no one is telling us, but we are making that connection, ourselves, because something happens in our mind, in our nervous system, when we make a connection that makes sense. That's why I use tarot cards, different kinds of cards, because the way people get insights is very fast sometimes. Everything that is symbolic is so powerful and works so quickly, when we are trying to discover to something, when we are trying to understand the situation, or we're just trying to, get some clarity. So you can have that in a tarot reading. And that's what I offer. You can have a reading with me. If you look at the description below, there's a link, and you can book a reading with me, or we can have like a free conversation first to see, if a reading is what is best for you, and it depends on whatever you're going through, whatever your situation is. And we can see if this is the right tool for you. And if you have any questions, any doubts, or you want to, please write those in the comments. I would love to see, let's connect. I would love to know what you think about and what is your experience with tarot readings. I would love to know that. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Namaste.